we are going to add some detail to these trees. They're not just going to be plain brown, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, concentrate on the small details like the branches, because these small details is what's going to give your painting a more realistic look. There we go. See that? Great. Now with the spraycasso tool, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of scratch and combine the paints on these trees at the same time. This will give you a bark effect as well as highlights. Okay. Perfect. Now you don't want to make your trees completely white, so don't scratch off all the brown, just kind of combine it, mix it. See how I'm doing this? I'm just kind of going over the same paint. Then afterwards I'll go up and down it to create the effect of barks. Okay, just like so. It's a great way of adding highlights, making your trees more realistic. No, it just makes your painting look even more amazing. People can't and won't believe that it's spray paint. Let's take a closer look at that. See what I'm doing? Just making a line over it, just like so. Great. See how that works? See all the little fine details on that tree? All the lines. Great. Now I'm just going to go ahead and mix a little bit of brown and orange, and I'm adding the tree leaves. This has to be done in layers. First we did the background, then the trees in the background. Now we're coming closer to our point of view. So the trees and the leaves get a little bit darker. Okay, see how that really stands out? Let's add a twist to this. Let's add a little bit of sun rays coming through. Okay, now keep in mind that I'm aiming at the straight edge, not directly on the painting. Okay. Excellent. Let's make a few more. Let's make it a little bit random. Let's add one right about here. Great. Well, you can either leave it like that, but I think I'll add one more. Remember, it's the small details that make your painting more realistic and more unbelievable. Now watch how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to add a little bit of white on some of these leaves, and then more white behind the tree. That way it looks like the sun is coming through. Alright. Now, let's add a little bit of brown, a little bit of orange, and our sea sponge that we used to make the first set of leaves on our trees. A little bit dark. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit darker, and that's because I want these leaves to overlap the light. You know, these leaves are closer to us. Okay, some right here. Maybe some right here. Perfect. I like that. What do you guys think? Let's add a few more. Okay. See how that really makes a difference in the layers? You can see the trees in the foreground. Okay, with a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow, I'm just adding a little bit of highlights. You don't want to go too crazy on this, but you do want to add some. Remember that whatever colors you use on the top of the painting, gotta use them on the bottom as well, just to balance it out. See that? And because we do have sun rays coming on onto the grass, well, the highlights will make it look that much more realistic. Now, to create the water, remember I'm aiming at the straight edge. I'm going to use a little bit of red, and that's going to be the first color we put down. Then orange on top of that. I'm going to try and mimic the colors of the sky. Plus I got to take under consideration that this is water. So I'm going to add, let's see, maybe a little bit of yellow on there too, because we do have a sun. But I'm also going to use green and blue. So I'll use a little bit of green on the sides, right about here and here. Now you don't want to make these coats too thick, because you still want to be able to see the bottom ground underneath the water. That's the beauty of spray paint. You can make things transparent. It's just a little bit of blue on the corners. Alright. Now with the white, I'm going to create the effect of the splash from the waterfall. Again, I'm aiming right. You see where I'm aiming at? It's like right on the straight edge. You don't want to aim directly on your painting. I'm going to add a little bit, just a little bit of white on the other side of the straight edge. Take a look at that. Pretty nice, huh? Alright. Now, with the spraycasso tool, remember it's all about detail. This is just something a little extra I thought about. Maybe just some miniature trees or bonsai, if you guys may, or maybe just wild bushes. Alright, just added a few branches, and I'm using the same technique that I used on the trees on these bottom barks or trunks. They can be whatever you guys want to make them. This is your world, your imagination. Excellent. Alright, now with a little bit of green, and you can spray this off on the side somewhere, palette, but I want you guys to see how I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it on this magazine. A little bit of orange on top of that, and a little bit of black, not too much. Remember that these leaves are the furthest away from the sun rays. So I'll just add some right here. Maybe a little bit here. You don't want to make everything too symmetrical. Remember that in nature nothing, is lined up perfectly. Everything's just at random. But you don't want to cover your main objectives either, so I'm not going to have too many leaves on top of this waterfall. Just enough so that you can see that there's leaves there, but it won't cover the view. Okay, a little bit here. Great, now with a little bit of orange, I'm going to add some highlights. Even though these trees and bushes are the furthest away from the sun, we still gotta add some highlights. Can't deprive them from sun, right? Okay, let's take a look at our painting. There you go, folks. Another masterpiece done solely with spray cans. Thank the folks from Or Like Spray Paints. Till next time.